What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Matt Ramage Show presented by Quick Trip. All right, dude, I wasn't even going to plan on really doing one of these today, but man, Viking fans are a little, dude, I don't think I've ever seen more excuses. I think I've ever seen more crying from a fan base after a loss. You would think they just got knocked out of the playoffs. The amount of whining they do, because the whining isn't just fans. The whole Vikings organization, the franchise, everything around it. Their radio caller is a whiner. The players whine. Their fans whine. It's like built into that. That's their culture of the Vikings. The stupid horn and crying. It's first of all highly entertaining. You know what I mean? 41-17. That was the score. It was never competitive. It was never competitive. There was never a chance. And even during my live stream, I wasn't even trying to say like this game is over or whatever, because we know the Vikings, came back on the Fools. It's not over till it's over. So I waited a long time. I thought for sure that it was going to get competitive. I'm like, they're going to get back into this thing, not that I don't have faith in the Packers, but I was like, this is a playoff team. This is the team everyone's talking about. Everyone's talking about how great the Vikings are. So I'm like, there's no way that it's going to get steamrolled. Dude, look at if they didn't have that crazy comeback, they got steamrolled a few times. I was talking about on my live. You don't come back on good teams like that. You can't just go down and they go, we'll just come back. That's not how it works, bro. The Vikings are just not a good football team. That's what it appears. They started off good, had a good time. All right, I hope you enjoy it. You won the division. Congratulations. Get your hats, the hoodies and all the things. Put the banner up on the stadium next year for your little division championship, but you're going to get rocked in the first round. That's just how it is. Whenever that is, the first game, you're getting rocked. I have no faith the Vikings can beat anyone in the playoffs. And, I would love nothing more than if the Packers get in the playoffs, they play the Vikings. We're going to get revenge. I would love nothing more than to be able to do it again. Can you imagine that? Just a couple weeks later, get to make them cry again. That would be a beautiful, fantastic thing. But let's check out the excuses that we got rattled off. You know what I mean? This is I'm just taking a tweet from Jen Mack, at Big Mac 4 over on the Twitter. She's awesome. Jair, here's the first one. Jair didn't shut down JJ. He had safety help. First of all, I don't care if Jair shut him down. I care that the Packers shut him down. Your best player was shut down. That's what happened. I had Aaron Nagler on the show last week, and we were talking about, I asked him, what do the Packers have to do to beat the Vikings? You know what he said? Or no, we were talking about, that, and then how Justin Jefferson goes into that. And he said, you cannot shut down Jefferson. You can't. You can only hope to contain him. But he was wrong. I was wrong. Apparently, you can shut him down. All right. And you got one reception for 15 yards, and that when the Packers were in zone. So like they couldn't figure it out. Justin Jefferson's over there crying. Dude, like damn near murdered a ref. And like they're talking about Jair should have got flagged because he did the gritty, whatever. And you freaking almost killed a guy, dude. You pulled back. And I'm not saying it was on purpose. Everyone's like, well, it was an accident. Accidents don't matter. This is what I always told my kids when they were growing up, accidents do not matter. Like when my son got his license, I said, if you go through a stop sign, you're looking at your phone, whatever, you just don't see it and you kill someone, doesn't matter. You can't say, well, it was an accident. Doesn't matter. You did it. You either do or you don't. All right. And he hit a ref with his helmet. Like, dude, that was the all-time like meltdown. People talk about like, OBJ, these guys, throwing stuff, fighting with field goal posts. But this dude just almost murdered a ref with his helmet. Like I say, I don't think it was on purpose. Like he didn't think, I'm gonna, jack this ref in the back of the face. But he did. He barely touched. So I'm surprised the ref didn't turn around. We'll see if there's a suspension or at least a fine. I think maybe he pulled up. Now the ref obviously didn't get hurt because he didn't even turn around. So it is what it is. Plus, he took his helmet off. You're not supposed to do that either. So whatever. I don't care because I don't whine about like what calls got missed and what didn't get missed. I've never, ever on a podcast ever came on here after a Packers loss and talked about, this would have been called and that, the refs isn't that and making all these excuses. I think you look stupid. You look like it's embarrassing. Like when I see fans do it, just go through and just whine, it's embarrassing. It's like hard to watch. Like, I get like if you have a bad call talking about it, but like just whine and then they making lists, because I get it. Like there's bad calls, like especially if at the end of the game, like man, if that didn't happen, I get it. That to me is not whining. That's not really excuses. That's just like that's just what happened. But when you have a list, bro, I have a list in my hand. I'm gonna read off from all the excuses. We just got to that one. All right, but Justin Jefferson, he got shut down, bro, and that's just what happened. I don't care if who you're giving credit to, dude. Jair though, man, he talked that talk and he walked the walk. That's just what it is. He because when you run your mouth, see, I run my mouth about the Packers, but like nothing I do contributes to the Packers if they win or lose. So I just like I have faith in them. I'll talk trash, and if they lose, I take it, dude. I do the live show during the game. Packers get beat down. Viking fans are all in my comments. I don't turn it off. I don't quit. I stayed there and I take it. Week 1, took it. Viking fans were on my live stream that game watching. There was like 5 or 10 Viking fans that were just like going off and off. And then as the game, first quarter, boom, second quarter, boom, they gone. Where'd they go? I don't know. They were gone. Like they talk all that trash, but like when that's what I always say. They're off-season champs. This year obviously they're the division champs, but every year I would say they're off-season champs because they talk that trash. But when things don't go their way, they're gone. They cry, they whine, they disappear. That's the order, right there. There you go. All right, here's another excuse. The field was purposely flooded, so they think the Packers flooded the field. I don't know. I was watching the game. I didn't see people running around and like falling into pits of water like that. That is just a funny thing. And like it would only affect them. Like the Packers, like they're like, Aquaman over here. Like water doesn't affect them. And I don't even know about that one because like I've seen people say it, but like I don't even know like how you can seriously say they flooded the field. And if the team said it, I don't know if they did, but if the team said it, then why didn't they say something before the game? Why didn't they get better cleats or whatever the situation is? That's just that's like such of a reach of an excuse. Like that's a new one. Vikings game balls were tampered with. That's another one. The game balls were tampered with. Like, dude, they are just like they have a Rolodex of excuses. Like, hey, we've seen this one before. Use the ball tampering one. Like, dude, shut up, bro. Aren't you embarrassed? Who's that comedian that says that? Sebastian Maniscalco. I can't say his name real good, but he has that show on Netflix. Aren't you embarrassed, bro? I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed for my fan base. If I was on Twitter and I saw Packer fans making this many excuses after a loss, like I would just shut the app down. And I don't want to be associated with people who make these kinds of excuses. You know what I mean? And Packer fans are like known. Like people always say, how Packer fans make excuses. Really? Like Packer fans make excuses, bro. Week 1, Packers got lit. This season hasn't been going good. I haven't seen this many excuses for all the games combined, let alone one game. You know what I mean? And then we got another one. Refs help the Packers. I think the Vikings were like the least penalized team in the league this year. I don't know if it's still the case, but I think early on, like few weeks ago, I seen that. So like the Vikings are like they get help. I want to say help, but they're not getting penalized hard. Like that the whole the refs help the Packers. Like if that was the case, the Packers would win some more Super Bowls, right? You always talk about how we only have 2 Super Bowls in 30 years with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Well, if the refs were helping us, bro, we wouldn't have got screwed in Seattle. We wouldn't have got screwed in a lot of situations. That it'd be a little help, a little boost here and there would have maybe got us over the hump. So, they're talking about the refs. Like anytime someone says the refs help you, like I saw comments before the game even started. Like, oh, we know the refs are going to help the Packers. Like, dude, that's that losing mentality. That's why your franchise is horrible. The fan base is just trash because you were all geared up for a loss, bro. Like you were already making excuses before the ball was even snapped. But yeah, anytime anyone blames the refs just straight up, like I get it, you're going to complain about a call here and there, especially like the horrendous ones everyone agrees with. I get it, you're going to complain about it, but when you're just nonstop every time you lose, it was the refs, then like you're just a joke. I don't know. I don't take you seriously. And we got another one over here. Ending with 2 home games in a row is sus. Like I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Like they were complaining about, it's nice that the Packers got 2 road games or 2 home games at the end of the season. Yeah, bro, that's not new information, bro. This is like the schedule is in May or whatever it is, and you're complaining about it now, like, dude. And then the Packers have ended a lot of the seasons away, so like they got home games this year. Like, dude, like talk to the schedule makers. Like, I don't know what, like that's I don't know, but it is coming in handy because the Packers, the Vikings can't beat the Packers in Lambeau Field very good. They're not doing very good. You know what I mean? Here's that one that gritty should have been a taunting penalty. First of all, talking about the gritty should have been a taunting penalty. Like, why? Is it because it's his little dance? Because players get plays and they turn around and they do their little celebration. Jair turned around. He was going the other way. And then to have Justin Jefferson say that it should have been taunting, like, dude, that makes you look like a punk. Justin Jefferson, one of the best players in the game. You know, he's one of the top. But like, dude, you caught the L. I don't get that whole like, oh, it should have been a penalty. Like, it should have been a penalty when you almost caved in a ref's head too. You know what I mean? But like, so like that whole thing. First of all, I don't know. It is what it is. I loved it. I don't care. Give him a taunting penalty, bro. Like, you ain't catching nothing anyways. So give him a taunting penalty because it was a great clip that I will live. I will watch. I will relive many, many times. You know what I mean? But I honestly don't think it should have been taunting penalty. I think the league is too soft. And like players asking for taunting penalties, I don't know. It makes them, I don't know. I wouldn't say soft because he's a pro athlete. Kick the hell out of me. But I'm not going to say any of these players are soft. But like, I think it's kind of a losing mentality. You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. But I get it because they're going to ask these players questions. So I'm not going to, get whatever because they got to answer the questions and maybe they should have answered a little differently. Maybe they even think they should later. I'm not going to trash Justin Jefferson. He's a great player. You know what I mean? But he caught that L. You know what I mean? One catch, 15 yards, bro. Whatever we didn't need. Oh yeah, they say this. What we didn't need this win anyways. I always like that. We didn't need that win. And why are you so mad, bro? Why are you so mad? I'll just say it to Viking fans, man. Viking fans, you should get a check on your fan base because, like, man, I'm sure a lot of Viking fans are embarrassed of all the excuses and all that is happening. Like, I'm stunned. I've never seen this amount of excuses by any fan base ever after a regular season win. You're locked down the division. Like, why are you mad, bro? Yeah, I get it because you know the truth. You know that you were down 33-0 to a 4-5 win team, whatever it was. Like, and all these comebacks, and now like, oh, when we play these good teams, we can't. We only play half a game. And Lambeau, he didn't play any part of the game. Like, there was no point of that game where it was competitive. At no point where we're like, oh man, we're really shaking in our boots here. Dude, like I started drinking because like I was just like, oh, this is gonna be a good time. Then a little party, watch the game, watch the Vikings just get absolutely annihilated by the Green Bay Packers. What a good time to have. But I expected the Vikings to come around at some point and make it a game. I expected that fourth quarter to be my prediction before the game. I'll say this is going to be a close game. It's going to be a battle. The Packers got to, use the clock. Keep Justin Jefferson because he can go off. But Jair, he said not today, bro, not today. He said it was a fluke. You know what I mean? People didn't like that. He said that. I don't know. You talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, and he walked it. He was skipping on it. He was grittying, whatever that's called on it. You know what I mean? I'm too old. I don't even know that dance, but I know that the players like to do it. It's a young guy thing. But it's a beautiful thing. So the Packers have to go next week and do it again. It's not over. I believe the Lions can get knocked out of the playoffs before that if the Seahawks win, maybe. I don't know for a fact, so don't quote me on that. I just saw it on Twitter. But either way, how I see it, the Packers have to win, and they're in the playoffs. That's the fact for the Packers. Obviously, if the Lions could possibly get knocked off before the game, maybe they're not as hungry, you know what I mean? But that might be good. I think that game probably does get bumped up as maybe a primetime game. Because if it's whoever wins this game is in the playoffs, like, that's ridiculous. That's a playoff game. You know what I mean? So, like, for the NFL, they're going to want that in their primetime spot. But the Lions are no joke. The Packers got to go in there. I think the Lions are better than the Vikings. You know what I mean? Especially right now, late in the season. Vikings, the Lions did their thing against the Bears. It was the Bears, but they still did what they're supposed to do against a trash team like the Bears. So, I give the Lions all the props. Jamal Williams over there, he's having himself a year. I think he needs like 6 yards to get 1,000 yards, his first 1,000-yard season. So, it's going to be a tough game, but I think the Packers can win it. I expect the Packers to win. I think the Packers will be fired up. Dude, this is those hot teams. You don't want to see those hot teams in the playoffs. I don't care what anyone says. No team should. And if they do want to see the Packers in the playoffs, then I think they're foolish because you don't. And the same thing with the Lions. If the Lions got in the playoffs instead of the Packers, I would say the same thing. You don't want to see the Lions in the playoffs. You don't want those teams that have been in the playoffs. The Packers were 4-8. They've been in the playoffs for a minute. Lions, the same thing. If they're that team to make it, then which I don't think they're going to be, but if they are, I think that would be a team I wouldn't want to play if I was one of the other teams. You don't want these hot teams. Like, so many times, we talk about the Packers in 2010, but not even just them. The Giants have done it. There's been a lot of teams. The Steelers, I believe, did it. Like, you don't want a team that has to win 3, 4, 5 games, whatever, leading into the playoffs, and then they're just hot. They're just good, you know. And the way the Packers played it against the Vikings, it was just a total shutdown. It was like a total. It was like if you were playing a 1-win team. That's how bad the Packers beat up on the Vikings. Like they did. Like Jordan Love got some time. Kirk Cousins got a little break. This game's out of reach. Let's throw the backup in there, dude. That it was a beautiful thing to watch. As a Packer fan, as someone who hates the Vikings about as much as a person can hate a team, like it was outstanding. I had an incredibly good time. And Viking fans, I get you didn't, bro, but you got the playoffs coming up. You know what I mean? Maybe just calm down, stop the whining a little bit, pump the brakes. You know what I mean? Everyone's laughing at you, but there we go. I'll be back again this week. I just want to say my little thoughts about just the whining part, because we'll go through and we'll talk about this stuff. We'll probably have some people on the show this week. But it was a great thing. Go Pack, go people. Big shout out to Quick just sponsoring the show. And there we go. Go Pack, go.